Hello everyone. We had an interesting weekend. Yeah, we're going to show you a little bit of it. Welcome to preparedness. Alright, welcome back. So, this weekend, we had to go down to our property and do a little bit of work, and had to work in the kitchen, and I'll show you all that. And things were actually going pretty well, better than what we thought of, or thought it was going to be, excuse me. Going pretty well until we got up the next day and we saw this. And this. So this is what we wake up to, and we're pretty much done with our work. We just have to go home, but now, no go home. And of course we all had to get back for work and school and all of our other activities that are in our daily lives. So we were trying to figure out how to gauge if we could make it out in our vehicles. Okay, trying to figure out if we can do that. And needless to say, that didn't go so well. Took one of the four-wheelers, not me, someone else. I'm smarter than that. Excuse me, anyway. No, needed to find out what it looked like. So we had a couple of our guys jump on one of the four-wheelers and take off to go see what the rest of the road looks like. And the end result was this. Yeah, I'll see you back here. Give us a thumbs up. And this.
Well,
yes, they had taken the four-wheeler down, and it had got to a point to where the four-wheeler actually started, they said, floating. Now I'm sure it got light, but it probably lost a lot of traction. I wasn't there, I can't say, maybe it was. But one of them on the back was able to hop off, old jarhead, and help the other one out, but the four-wheeler was gone. And when I say gone, I mean completely submerged in the creek. And what you just saw was us recovering said four-wheeler once water went down to a point to where we could do that. So yeah, we had some fun. And we learned some things from it. Okay, we were at our location. Okay. We had taken out minimal food, you know, because we were just going to be there for what amounted to a day. Okay. Excuse me. What amounted to a day, which ended up turning into a few days. As you can see, we are back in civilization, how we did finally make it back. But what are some of the lessons learned from our little experience? Well, you know, our little temporary emergency we had there did point out some holes that we had, not huge gaping, you know, you're gonna die holes, but some holes that we need to work on. One of the holes that we found out, and we kind of already knew, was we had taken down a ton of food and put in a root cellar out there, and our root cellar is not completely waterproof. Okay, it is letting in some moisture, and because of that, the canned goods that we had just left out exposed in there were now all rusty, a lot of them completely unusable. Those were taken down years ago by members of my family, and at the time they were just trying to get stuff there. Okay, we were all kind of young into this, and we just knew we needed stuff, gotta have stuff. So we didn't really properly take care of those things so that they would last. We just knew that we needed to get as much there as we could so that it would be there. We've known we've had issues with our root cellar, but any of you that have property or even just a house, there is always a list of things to do. Always, constantly. And you are constantly prioritizing things. So the root cellar is on our list, but it's a little bit lower on the priority than a lot of the other things that we're currently working on. Our canned goods did have some damage. We did eat from a lot of them. Little quick tip on that. We had made spaghetti while we were down there. Okay, once again, real easy, cheap. I try to tell people, get that stuff. Members of my family had purchased, that came out weird, had purchased, you know, just spaghetti sauce, but they had purchased the plastic jars of it. That stuff perfectly fine. As opposed to, there's a lot that are just canned in regular cans. That stuff didn't fare as well. And we had taken dry pasta and vacuum sealed it, and we had this stuff, I believe the date on that stuff was, excuse me, 2016, so 5 years old, and it was all completely fine. Now I know that that is not 20 years down the road, but all that stuff, you know, it had expiration dates of you know, like 4 years ago, but it was all completely fine. We were very happy to have it because we were not planning on being out there that long. We were planning on being out for a day, and our plans changed real quick. All of the buckets that have been taken down, everything was great, no problem. We had even taken down big plastic drums that have like a locking lid on it. All that stuff was fine. We had even taken down just regular metal trash cans with the lid, and all of that stuff was fine. The metal lids were not sealed up in any way. You know, they weren't silicone, they weren't duct tape, they were just stuck on. and everything in there was fine too. Once again, little quick tip, why did we have the metal trash cans? Because we're out in the sticks and you know what, even just around everywhere you got critters, right? Places that you are not living at, it's a constant battle. But yeah, we're constantly battling against mice and everything else out there. But those metal trash cans, mice can't eat through that. Over time, they can eat through a 5-gallon bucket. If they smell something in there that they want, given enough time, they can make it in there. So, if you're looking for a way to secure your food preps, and you know that there are going to be mice or whatever in the area, the metal trash cans will keep them out. So we found that out as far as our food preps. Another one, and not really a glaring hole, but we had a little discussion while we were out there, since we had plenty of time, and we were trying to just figure out how can we improve everything. And we had some of the guys point out, you know, we need larger fuel stores. Okay, I mean, we didn't run out of fuel or anything like that, but it was just something that they noticed while they were there. What else? Our water was pretty good. You know, we didn't even come close by a long shot to running out of water. We've got, if we had to, we could have taken the water right out of the creek, all that muddy, nasty water, and filtered it out, and we would have been fine. But as far as the fuel, one of the things was propane. We have multiple propane lanterns, little propane heaters, a propane cook stove, like a larger one, and then we've got some smaller ones. The only thing with that, and I'm trying to figure this out, I'm not a huge fan of relying on the propane, because like with everything, I tell you guys, eventually everything's either going to break or run out. So if you are relying strictly on propane, it would be impossible for you to store enough propane for a extended amount of time for use. Yeah, there was a couple. What else? I'm trying to think real quick. Just our food situation was, it's like, okay, we're going to have to get on this. All right, let's go ahead and point out some of the good things we discovered. From where a couple of our guys had tried to check on the road in a 4-wheeler, needless to say, they got a little damp. They flat out got soaked down to their undies, okay? And they had made it back to the house, which we already had fires cranking and everything else. But we got them dried out, but while they were drying out, I was able to go and get them some clothes. One thing I've done over the years, whenever I think about it and feel like it, I'll run to Goodwill, Salvation Army, thrift stores, things of that nature, and I'll just go into the pants, and I know the approximate sizes of a lot of our people, and if they're having a sale that day and pants are $1 a piece, I'll grab 10 different pair of pants in a size range that I think is close. And luckily I did that, because they were able to put on some dry clothing. And you can do that with, you know, your shirts, jackets. A lot of times these places will have different bedding, you know, blankets, things of that nature. And it doesn't cost you a ton, but it's good to have on hand. Over the years, I've taken out games. Okay, remember I said don't forget about your luxury items, your entertainment items. We played some Uno, and we played some Monopoly. So we were able to keep ourselves entertained. Now, we still had electricity, and we do have TV. We have DVD player, things like that. But since we were kind of stuck and we weren't really able to do a lot, you know, we decided to do some of these other things. We had the kids out with us, you know. But that worked out really well. What else? What else? Sorry, I know seconds are flying by. Little hand crank radios, okay, that I had taken out and stored. We were not able to get cell phone reception. We can't get cell phone reception out there unless we go way on the hill. And then literally it's enough. We can make a call. We can do a text. But as far as surfing the web, don't have the signal for that. So we were wanting to know weather reports. And the little hand crank emergency radio that has the weather bands on it, as well as AM, FM, and some shortwave, that stuff comes in handy. But overall, this was a good learning experience. What it did was allowed everybody to slow down and sit and think, because like I said, there's always a list of things that needs to be done, and that's always what we're focused on, was getting A done so we can get to B so we can get to C. But that allowed us to slow down and think and figure out some other things we're going to be needing out there. So we've shown you some of the bad things, and I'll show you some clips here of some of the fun stuff, you know, that we did. And the last, I'm going to leave you guys here, but the last image, beautiful image, my opinion, and I will leave that with you guys. So I appreciate you watching. Any questions that you have, concerns, comments, please post them down below. Please do the like, share, subscribe thing. It is very important, and it helps us out here. So thanks a lot, guys, and enjoy the images.
I thought it was like a black powder.